This is me, walking into my workshop in the morning, and this is my problem. I've been thinking for ages that a key holder would solve it. But you know how it is. There are so many designs out there, and none of them really felt right for me. So I decided to just take matters into my own hands and build a better one. My entryway is pretty grey and not exactly cozy. So I wanted to add some color, but not in the way you might think. I'm not really a colorful person, but I do love Japanese art and how they use color and balance. So why not combine art and function and build a key holder that doesn't even look like a key holder, but like a piece of art? So I sat down at my desk and started designing. My inspiration? Those narrow Japanese style tattoos. Elegant, minimal, but full of detail. Problem is, I can't draw that well, so I had to get a little, let's call it, creative. First, I tried describing exactly what I wanted to ChatGPT, and surprisingly, the first result was already really close. After a few tweaks, I had my first design ready. Now, I only had an image, but how do you turn that into a 3D model? Here's a secret, you barely need any modeling skills anymore. The easiest way? The Relief Sculptor Maker from MakerWorld by Bambu Lab. You simply upload your image and the AI generates a 3D relief from it. Exactly what I needed. Downloaded it, opened it in Bambu Studio, and you can already see the problem. It's not perfectly clean. The frame is messy. So I used the cut tool to trim off the lower part. Much better. Now it's time for color. Japanese designs are usually very vibrant, but here's where it got tricky. I couldn't find an easy way to transfer the colors from the image onto the 3D model. So I had to paint it manually. Inside Bambu Studio. And that's not fun. A few hours later, I finally had something that looked right, and for the first time, I could actually see how it might turn out. The only problem, not everyone has multiple AMS units, and I don't have the AMS hub yet. So I had to reduce it to just 4 colors, but honestly, it still looks great. At this point, I basically had a 3D printed artwork with depth, but I wanted it to actually work as a key holder. So I added 2 cylindrical cutouts into the design where the magnets would go. That way, the keys can simply snap to the artwork and stay in place. By the way, if you want to build this yourself, you can find the full parts list, links and printable files on my Ko-fi page. Link in the description. Technically, I could have stopped there, but here's something I've learned. Whenever you think you're done, there's always one more detail that makes the design perfect. For me, that was a slim frame, something that makes it look like a finished piece of art. So I designed a black frame that fits perfectly around the relief and even added magnets inside it to hold the artwork in place and boost the magnetic strength. Finally, time to print. By the way, I don't usually like multicolor prints on my Bambu Lab. They look amazing, but they produce a lot of waste. Do you feel the same way? Or do you have a trick to reduce it? After a few hours of printing, it was time to insert the magnets and continue the job. 9 hours later, it was done. And honestly, I was already super happy with how it looked. But how would it look with the frame? And more importantly, would it actually work? In total, I used about 220 grams of filament, roughly $4 plus 50 cents for the magnets. Once the frame was ready, I tested it. Perfect fit. Now time to mount it next to the door. And yes, it actually works. This key holder is unlike any other I've seen. It actually looks like art. And at first glance, you wouldn't even notice how the keys stick to it. I love how this turned out. But since I'm in the mood for a bit more color, I thought, why not build a colorful plant pot next? And that's exactly what I did in this video.